It sounds like Chelsea are going to buy a 20-year-old Frenchman from Rennes. Rennes? Okay. Rennes. French. 20 for somewhere in the region of 65 million. I think that's what they're asking for. Like I said,
Euros, yeah.
I don't know anything about this kid, so I'm not going to act like I do. I can talk about the ideology, and I'll wait to do that till later. But
no problem.
Mila and Grant, you guys can take it away on what you think of this kid and this potential signing.
I think Mila knows more about the player than I do. But I think when we got a lot of briefs, the briefs were they're only going to sign a player ready for the starting 11. And again, these guys' track record with signing players to bring in a 20-year-old with less than 30 first team appearances is a very big ask to solve the amount of questions that we have in our defense. And what I will say about the player, from what I've seen, he does play in the middle of a three. He does look very composed on the ball. He looks like a great athlete, front-footed defender. I think he will add a lot. But not only the fact that we're bringing in a guy that, in my opinion, is not a fully known commodity yet for his lack of first team game time. I just think it's really frustrating that this wasn't addressed in the summer to say that the options weren't available. Yes, this kid probably had even less appearances, right? But he was available. Senesi, the other name that came up, he was available. The other name, Jacobo Ramon, he literally did transfer to Como. If we couldn't beat Como to a transfer, that's a whole other story. But it is infuriating that this is being addressed now like we didn't know it was a problem to begin with. And the fact that I have to hope that they made the right call after making a lot of bad calls, it's a risk because, I mean, you look at the defenders we've brought in from that league, it hasn't worked for us so far under this ownership. So, Dasasi, Badiashile, one of them's training with the U21s. The other gets hurt and misses 3 months at a time. So I have heard a lot of very good things about the player. I would love to watch him step right into this team, have an immediate impact on our defense, and put us right back comfortably into Champions League places. But that is just asking so much of a player with this level of experience. And it would take a top level talent to do that. And I hope we got one, but I really don't know.
I think that's just a little contradictory. Before, you guys were just buying names to buy names. Badiashile was a name at the time, and you just went, oh, shiny toy, I want that. So I think the fact that he's a lesser known commodity is a good thing. But people that do know of him and have seen him, he's gotten consistent starts for the team in a super physical league that's been touted to be like the closest physicality to the Premier League as of late. And then, like you were saying, he's a good front foot athlete. Like in the recovery pace section, he lacks a lot in terms of his other attributes. And then on the ball, he's good. He's smart. He's composed. I think of it more as like bring him in halfway now so he gets ready for next season. Not he's the answer to our problems this season. Sort of like what we did with Nico G and Kusanov, bringing them in to let them get adjusted earlier. Because like you were saying, if you guys did go get this guy or Ramon in the summer, I don't think the impact would be the same. Those guys needed this time to grow, whether it be for Como, who's a good side this year, or Rennes, where he's gotten, 16, 17 appearances in the league?
I think he's at like 29 appearances in all comps.
Yeah,
or 29 first team
that's
appearances.
A lot. Like that's like a big jump from not playing at all to that, and that gets him ready for the league. So in terms of him being able to make the jump, I think it'll take a little bit of time, but he has all the attributes to make a smooth adjustment to the Premier League. And I've heard that he's a bit of a leader, so that's good for your defense. And if you pair him with the right guy, a faster guy that can help with the recovery pace stuff, I think he's going to be very good in the long run. But like you're saying, to ask him to come in and basically drag you further this season is a lot. And I'm not saying he can't do it, but it's just unrealistic for such a young center back to do that, especially when that position develops a little bit later. Yeah.
I absolutely agree. And again, like you said, you cannot expect him to walk into this team and boom, the defense is brilliant. That's not going to happen. So don't brief us saying this player, the only time we would sign a player in January is if it is a first team immediately in the 11 player. And again, we have players like Saar out on loan at Strasbourg, Anselmino out on loan at Dortmund. What's the approach with them now? I thought we weren't blocking pathways, right? Like, it's just infuriating to like see these guys work in
I
real
wouldn't worry
time when it
about
was
that.
identified 6 months
I
ago.
think,
So I hope he's
yeah,
a good player. I do think he is going to be a good player because, like you said, he has been playing nonstop for the first team all year. He is playing in the middle of a three, which clearly that's what Rosenior wants. That's what Maresca wanted. That's why Maresca had to adjust his buildup as soon as Colwell went down. I think long term, that's who they want to pair someone with. I do think the Colwell stocks haven't gone away. Um, I think it's a good move. I think in all reality, we need to clear house in this defenders department. Tosin, he can go. Badiashile can go. Dasasi, we've been actively trying to get rid
yeah.
of. Chalaba, even, I mean, we tried to get rid of last summer. So
I
I
think
think we
that's
bring in
where
those other young guys I'm
the
talking about.
briefings
But
make sense.
yeah,
You
I
know,
just don't
I
even
think
know.
they're saying, look at what we have right now. This guy, even though he's so young and fairly unproven, he's gonna walk into this team because of his ability currently and the lack of ability that you guys have. Um, which is a little scary. And like you were talking about, a Senesi might have been a more safe approach, but it doesn't match the mold of your transfer policy. And as annoying as that's been, and we've talked about it, like, that's at the end of the day, the club has a transfer policy and you have to stick to it as long as they run the club. So
Yeah,
you make
this
do with what you can. This looks like an informed signing, but it still looks like they have to do what the owners are saying.
it's
I don't know
mad
that.
because, like, again, this can end up being a good move in what 18 months time. We could see how good this kid ends up being. But when you look at Chelsea, where Chelsea are right now, they're in sixth. They're behind Man United. They need to continue to improve in order to get into these Champions League spots. I think most of us would agree that Senesi, we know exactly how he plays and what he could do for us and have a positive impact for us. So in the short term, like you said, that would be 10, 15 million. His contract expires in 6 months.
Yeah, but how much is he
You sell him in
asking
2
for money
years,
wise?
whatever. You lose
That's the
5
thing.
million on the deal. Like, just
It just
I don't
it
know what we're
doesn't fit
doing.
what they're doing. What were you
I
gonna say, Dill?
I don't have any issue with this signing in terms of the plan. And look, he's a great young talent. And whenever it comes to young great talents, I think if you can get them at any point during any window, it's a good thing. My issue is he's being asked to do way too much. It reminds me a lot of Lenny Yoro. In a lot of ways, this is a very similar signing where it's a young, touted French good center back with great physical traits that's going to be asked to be thrusted into a awful situation. Chelsea are just not at a point right now where there's stability, especially in the back line. You guys just continue to spend money on young guys. And to your point, like Senesi, that's a plug and play guy where I know that in big matches he could come in and do a job. That's really where this is confusing. And this doesn't feel like a January signing for that reason, unless you're really like a city where you guys were like in the middle of a rebuilding year, whereas like every year is a rebuilding year with Chelsea. So I just get
We're a
lost
year
in,
away from being a year away. Like, it keeps feeling that way.
yeah, I feel bad for the kid because look, he's going to come in here and maybe he gets a certain level of run during this stretch of games, but he can't play Champions League, right? Until
No,
the
so
next.
once after the last two group stage or league phase matches, that's when you can add players.
So you're going to ask a kid who's been playing in a back three in France to come into Chelsea and be their CB1 during the hardest stretch of the year. That's not gonna. I hate to be like a Debbie Downer on the kid, but like that's just not gonna end well because you're asking him to do too much. It feels like the city center back. The what's his name? The new kid, the Watford kid. Is
Elaine?
it?
Lane?
Yeah, Elaine. So not that they are the same level of talent in terms of what they were touted for, or that they've been playing
Hey,
in
we need
similar
you.
situations,
Yeah.
but the level of like that club going up to a team that needs Champions League football or is trying to get something going in the Champions League. Like Elaine looked out of sorts during the United game. Like there's a certain level of pressure that comes with that position, and asking a player to do that, like your touch gets a step heavier. Your runs aren't as good. You're not in the right spots. Like there's a certain level of pressure that he has not faced. And I know that he's played in 30 matches this year, but he hasn't played in a derby.
Top
He
league
hasn't played.
France. I mean, I don't. It's a big
No,
jump.
but he
from the
hasn't. This is his
championship to the
first real
top league of
season.
France.
But it's different. It just is. Like I can't explain that because this is Lenny Yoro's gotten into the same thing too. His welcome to the Premier League moment was against Southampton.
In a
You know what I
way
mean? Like
shittier situation at the time, I think.
But
Like,
it's
as
but
shitty
he was
as Chelsea's in, but like they're not even that bad right now. Like well, you guys weren't even that bad. It's more so the surrounding talk of the club. There's extra spotlight around him. I don't necessarily think the fans are saying, "Oh, this guy has to be perfect." It's the board that's putting out briefs that are saying that. I haven't seen much fan expectation for him, or like
you're right.
well that expectation doesn't come in the first week because he's a brand new shiny toy. It'll come in week 4 when he's played 4 matches and 2 of them maybe weren't as great as they thought. That's how Chelsea
so
fans
much
were.
better than what
We've
they
all
have.
seen
I
this.
think you guys are being blinded by that. Like they are shit.
I agree.
I'm not saying that he's not going to be good. I just think that that's a lot of pressure to put on a young man who hasn't had that level of experience.
He's supposed to be a very high IQ center back, trial by fire, help out with the build-up, get a lot of those silly mistakes out the way. Like compared to Chalobah, Badiashile, like those guys fucking blow at those things. And this guy is an up-and-coming kid. Yeah, he's young, but he's better than them already at that stuff.
We don't know that though, because we haven't seen it.
No, he is.
But we haven't seen it at Chelsea. I can't say that he's better at the pressure moments of games because I haven't seen it.
I can't say it won't take much.
No,
that's the thing. Look,
he could
can't be
end
worse. He can't be worse is my point. So he is better.
No. The thought is I don't know. And you don't know. We all don't know because this kid hasn't played a minute of Premier League football and he's being thrusted into a very complex situation in January. If this was a summer move
at Strasbourg, he knows how they play.
look at how Hato came into the squad. It's like a similar principle. Like we're talking about a very highly talented youngster.
Figuring it out though.
He's figuring it out. It took 6 months
through the season.
Yeah, this is my point. Is like these guys have immense talent. I'm not saying that he won't be great. It's very similar to Kusanov. This happened to Kusanov. He got into a moment. He was playing in France, and he did it. And he's been having to
great. And the media ate him alive for a one mistake.
They still bring it
up. That's the media. I don't care about the media.
But you're talking about a 20-year-old.
His last goal in the Premier League.
He's still our fucking best defender right now. It's the same shit. That's exactly my point, though. Is that he's gonna come in, he's gonna trial by fire, and he's either gonna make it or he's not. But
I think
it
that's
looks
crazy
like he's gonna make
it.
They have to do it.
That's what we've been doing.
They're not gonna buy anyone over 25. This is what they have to do.
That's what they've been doing.
I'm worried for his.
I just hope they get it right. No, because when you think about,
I hope he does great.
The targets that they've
had, he's not center back 1. Also, he's center back 1 while everyone's out, and then next year he's going to be the learning from the more experienced guy. Like it makes sense. Teams do this all the time.
And I do think too, when you look at Chelsea's approach of getting the young players, imagine if they'd gotten it right. Like even just this summer, the players that we get linked to, right? Like imagine if they got Ekitike in, right? We would not be complaining. Cherokee 2 summers ago, or Olise, like there's so many names that these guys have been linked to. They just end up with the wrong ones. So to Mila's point, like, yeah, this could be one of the ones we get right. I just don't love our track record. That's really what it is. But again, I've heard a lot of good things about him. I hope it works out, but you're asking so much of this kid and it's not really right. But
that's really where I'm standing is I think he could be a fantastic talent, but the idea that you're forcing him to be the guy right away that's not sink or swim. That's just asking
for
like
Reese or bottom 5 for sure.
That's like putting me on the edge of a cliff and being like, well, you take a step backwards, man. Sink or swim. It's like, no. You're setting me up to die here. I just have to.
I think it just depends on their expectations for him. If they're saying go win the league, and we're bringing in this young kid, then yes,
stabilize this defense. It's asking a lot.
Stabilize the defense. Help us not turn over the ball that much, and prepare for next season where Colwell can step in next to you. I mean, that just makes plenty of sense to me. You're getting one of the best center back wonder kids for a while.
Maybe they better get it done. Really, that's what I want at this point because they keep briefing shit. Like we got personal terms done, get it done. Like you cannot do all of this and then just, oh, look, guys, we tried to get a guy in. Like, no, you have to get it done now. Like this is very clearly your main priority. Go get him. Go get him.
Maybe you just have a better understanding of what the Chelsea board is, because the idea that they are not in Champions League right now and could potentially not be in Champions League next season, and I guess that's it. I feel like that would be a massive, massive disappointment. It also would set the club back a fair amount.
I'm just
from
more
where they
so
were just at
frustrated
this
it's taken
summer.
us until
Yeah.
January to address this.
They have leverage
It
over
didn't
these
need to
guys.
be.
They have 8-year contracts. Like I think they've operated it to where they have all the power in this. So if they want to do something, they just do it.
It's a
This is
dictatorship.
the
8 years, bro. If they
experiment.
don't make
This is
Champions League, what are they gonna? You're gonna complain?
Yeah, and then they get
all
sent to the
right. Go
bump
train
squad.
with the under 21s then.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah,
what
you'll
they
be with the
do.
under 25s, 4 years left on your deal.
Fucking
They
go
don't even have an under
complain.
25s. We'll make one.
I don't. I think I just try to view it from their standpoint at this point because I'm done trying to
That's all they
go
want.
crazy
all they
over
do.
what they do. So this is just how they operate. I'm basically looking at it like I accepted the job on Football Manager, and they told me how to work within the
confines.
payroll
really what it
and
is,
what
bro.
they want, like for me with the transfers. And this is exactly, it's under 25, signed players to over 5-year contract. Do not spend over 200K per player on a contract. Like it's one by one. The only thing that like I will give to them is, like I said before, it just seemed like they were buying to buy, and whoever they could get a good contract for, they'd get a good contract for. Now it seems a little more informed. I do think Jacquet is very good, and he's got the ability to be a plug-in player into the Premier League. I think we've seen that more so recently with the new players coming through in the French league. Not the ones that came from a couple years ago, but the guys as of recently have been up to par physically for the league. So I think that's a big thing right now. And if he's good on the ball, he's gonna be. That's my main point. Like if he
That's
just
what they need.
cuts out the mistakes of Chalobah and Badiashile and those types of players, then he's already so much better for the team than those guys, and they're gonna be a whole different team if they cut out those mistakes.
I don't know. I just have alarm bells.
I mean, maybe you don't play him in big games too, and like you don't throw him to the wolves in those types of games.
maybe
But
that's
maybe
the
you play him in
compromise.
all the other games. Like
Maybe that's the compromise.
throw him in a couple Champions League games. Let him get a fucking cap or two. I don't know.
I don't know what their direction is really the issue.
Well, it also seems like they're gonna lose some bigger names. So maybe they're just stockpiling the young ones to build something for later, because
could be. It could be.
Yeah. So you never know.
You do. I hope you're right. I mean, you know way more about the kid in terms of his actual raw talent. So I hope that he does well, because I don't like seeing young players come to the league and not do well. That's nobody likes that from a footballing perspective. So
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot from French league players and their ability to step up to the physicality of the current Prem, especially.
You're right. It's the closest league to it.